Hello everyone. Welcome to the session 2 of Introduction to Node.js course. So yesterday we have completed the session 1 where we have gone through like what is Node.js, okay, what is like how can we install. So before going on to the course, I will give you a brief about Newton School. Newton School is an initiative taken by a bunch of IIT graduates. So in Newton School, we offer uh, a placement guarantee program where a person who wants to hone their skills on computer science or on full stack web development, they can enroll into this course. They can hone their skills. They can learn from scratch to high level where a single person can build a full stack website. Okay, so that he or she can be able to get the dream job. So that is about Newton School. So coming to this Launchpad. So Launchpad is an initiative taken by Newton School. So where we thought like there is a need of fundamentals of computer science. So for example, you want to do a career transition from other civil field to computer science field. So a person should be able to good with fundamentals. So that's why we have taken this initiative where we will be focusing on uh, teaching you the fundamentals of computer science courses. Okay, so that is about like Newton School and Newton School's Launchpad. So we'll be like focusing on like fundamentals of like each computer science course. Okay, so if you want to enroll into this thing, you can go to this Newton School website. So you can click on sign up. Okay, you can fill in these details and you can create an account with Newton School. If you already have already a member of this Newton School, you can just log in. Okay, so now, so as you can see, this interface, like this is the interface provided by Newton Schools once you logged into the website. Okay, so here, so you can see like all the courses which are currently available. So in the Launchpad section, you have like all the courses like introduction to Java programming, introduction to Python programming, all the computer science courses, like and some advanced courses like introduction to Java, introduction to data structures and algorithms by Upal Chakravarti. Okay, so you can enroll into any of this course. Okay, so how you can enroll in, like just click on 1 second, yeah, just click on apply to fill the application. And so in this fill application, it will just ask you basic details. What is the current location? For example, if you write Hyderabad. Okay, so you can select it. Okay, you can select what is this graduation year, how you found out about our Newton School or Newton School's Launchpad, and then you can fill in the college and you can submit. Okay, so after that, once you enroll into this course, once you applied for this course, so you will get your in your track section, you can get the course. So if you open that course, okay, click here for more details. So here you can get like all these things. So here, for example, as in introduction to Node.js course, if you have any doubts regarding this course, you can click on this add a doubt button. So you'll be redirected to another page where you can, what is the title of your doubt, like what is the brief discussion, brief about the doubt, what is the detailed description of your doubt. You can add some doubts, and also you can attach some playground or labs that you worked on, like where there you are getting. You can submit the question. Okay, so that's where like when you have any doubt. Okay, for example, if you want to find out like you need to check out like what your peers have doubts, what doubts that your peers have. So then you can click on doubts forum. Okay, here you can see all the doubts that your peers have. Okay, so then you can see like what are the lectures that have been like occurred. Okay, what is the title, like all these things. Here you can see the progress, like how much you have completed. Okay, so here there is an option called playground. Okay. So Newton School also provides a playground for development like coding and also markup thing. Okay, markup is for like web applications like HTML, CSS. Coding is where so as already one is got created. I will open that. So here you can see you can write any code that you want to write over here. Okay, if the code requires an input, you can use this particular part. And whenever you click on this run button, give me a second. So whenever you click on this button, run, so the output will be present over. For example, like b is equal to b plus 1. Yeah. So this is about like IDE, which Node School also provides for you. Okay. So now, That is all about like please do check all the courses which are available. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about introduction to Node.js and installation of Node.js. So this part we covered. So today we'll focus on modules in Node.js. Okay. Yeah. So in this session we'll cover these topics like what are modules, okay, why and where we use the modules, okay, and we'll skim through Node.js documentation that will be helpful for any developer who is interested in developing Node.js applications, okay, and also we'll also look at types of modules in Node.js, okay. So these are all the things which we cover in this session. Okay, so what are modules basically? Okay, so the basic definition of module is it is a set of function that you want to include in your application. That's all, nothing more. So for example, you have written two or three functions. That two or three functions combined, we can call it as a module. Okay, so the two or three functions which you have developed when you are using it in your application, that behaves as a module for us. That's all, combination of functions. So in Node.js, okay, each file is treated as a separate module. Okay, in this Node.js application, so in a file you will be writing some set of functions. So all set of functions will be treated as a module. A simple you have written some 10 functions. All those 10 functions is nothing but if you use all those 10 functions in your respective app, it will be act as a module. Okay, so as we got like what are modules, so we'll dig into types of modules. Okay, so so modules are divided into local modules and built-in modules. Okay, so we'll dive deep into this local modules and built-in modules. Okay, so now we'll get into coding, like how can we create and work on these local modules. Okay, so try to create a file, a folder called directory called Node.js anything, so that all your works stays in same place. Okay, so I'll open this with code. Okay. So I'll create a file called app.js. Okay. So now I have created a file in this directory, in this Node.js modules directory. Sorry. Yeah. So now I'll just give you a glimpse like how can we run this particular file. Okay. Like get the output from this particular file. Console dot log of hello world. Okay. I will say this save this JavaScript this file app.js file. So to get this output, what I will do is, as it's a Node.js applications, I will use node space the name of the file which you want to run, which is app.js. Okay, as you can see, we got it is logged. Hello world dot is logged over here. Okay, simple, like what are the code that you want, right? You can write over here, and to run the particular file, you need to just use the command called node space app.js. That's all. So now we'll go dig deep into this local modules initially. Okay, uh, for example, for example, like I want to add two numbers, basic. Okay, so what I will do, I will take a is equal to 10, b is equal to 5. Okay, what I will do, console.log of a plus b. Okay, so I will run this thing. So I got 15. Fine. Okay, so what if I want to generate a radius of circle? Okay, maybe radius of circle is pi r square. Okay, so what is my pi value? Pi value is 3.14. Okay, what is the radius? Area of circle, sorry. So the area of circle is pi r square. So we should know the radius. So what is the so I'll give a radius of 5. Okay, so how can we generate this thing? Okay, so pi into r into r. Okay, so this is nothing but radius of circle. It is what area of circle, sorry. Okay, so it is 78.5. Okay, so you want to do this calculation like multiple times, n number of times. Okay, what you will do, you will again like do some console.log. Okay, you will change the radius to 6. Okay, you will again do the calculation over here. Okay, so now I changed it. Now it is 113 as I changed the radius. Okay, so that is one way of doing it. But with the help of local modules, what we can do is like we can eliminate the redundancy of this calculation. Okay, so basically we'll add this code in some file. Okay, we'll use that file whenever we want to generate the area of circle. Okay, so what I will do is I'll create a file called calc.js. Okay, so in this so basically like I will, so area of circle is equal to, I will create a function. So what does the area of circle requires? Pi value and r value. Okay, so I have writing a function. I will return so what is it, so what should I return? Like I have the pi value and I have the r value, I should return the pi r square. That's all right. Okay, so now, so now as I have written this code in calc.js, I should be able to use that function in this app.js. Okay, so basically like we cannot directly import this particular function in this calc. We need the permission from calc.js. So how will we get this permission? We do something called module.exports. So basically it is saying that I am available for importing. So I am exporting this particular method so that any file or any application can import this file and make use of it. Okay. For example, you are developing an application and you have already some code written in it. So you can just export this file. Like I'll export this area of circle. Okay, so I'll say I have saved that file. So now you want to import that particular file in this app.js. You want to import this particular function in the app.js. What you will do? Okay, so area is equal to require of. Okay, so require is a method which is used for importing the exported methods or exported files. Okay, so what is the path? It is calc.js. I will save this one. Okay, so I will remove this thing. Console.log of area. Okay, so we'll try to print this. Like it is wrong, but I will try to print this. This is not the right way to do, but we'll try to print it. So here we can see this area consists of function. What is the function? Area of circle. Where we created area of circle in this file. So that means we are able to fetch this function from this file to this file. Now what should we do? We should call this function. How can we do it? Uh, whenever you want to call a function or trigger a function, you should be able to do this kind of parameters. Okay, so here you can see that this function requires two parameters. One is pi value and one is the r value to get the area of circle. So I will give pi value as 3.14 and r value as 15. Okay, I will save this file. I will run this file node space app.js. Here you can see 706.5. Okay, so basically like whenever you want to get the area of circles for different values. So I want to get area of circle for when radius is 10, when radius is 13. Okay, when radius is 25. Okay, so here if you can see I am running that thing. So here we haven't done the calculation for every circle. We just get like implemented a function which does all this calculation, but we are calling that function, okay, which is nothing but a module for us, because that is in another file. We are making use of that existing function, which is nothing but a module. Okay, so that function is acting as a module for us. Okay, so that's all. Like so here we exported function. Okay, we can also export what, for example, I have where name is equal to, okay, so Nehru. Okay, so I would like to export that export multiple, like, so 1 second, I will try to export name. Okay, so here in this whole file, now we will not be able to access this thing, because we have given permissions to export this one only. We are given permission to import this one in the other files only, but not for this one. So we'll check that. Okay, so we'll do this thing and we'll run this way. So here we are getting error. Okay, why it is, what is the error? Area is not a function. So what is area then? 1 second. Console.log of area. Okay, we'll print, like, we'll see like what is area basically. So area is a string, area is a variable which we exported over here. So basically we can so initially we have exported some function, or next we exported some variable. So we were able to, like, handle both the things. But what if we should be able to export both of them? Okay, so name, comma, area of cell. Okay, so just I grouped them into single object. Okay, so now I will run this file again. We'll see what does it what is it importing. Okay, so it is importing an object. Here you can see it is importing an object. The object has two values, two key value pairs. One is name, which consists of a string, and one is area of circle, which consists of a function. Okay, now if you want to calculate the area of circle, area of circle. Okay, so area of circle requires how many parameters? Two parameters. One is pi value and another is radius. Okay, so basically we can also print the other thing, which is area dot name. Here you can see area consists name and area of circle. We'll print both those things. Okay, area of circle is not a function. Wait, we'll debug this, what is happening over here. Okay, so O is small. Okay, is the O is not capital, it is small. Here you can see we are able to import both the function and also the string variable from cals.js to app.js. Okay, so this is basically local modules. Okay, local modules in this sense, so the code which is already being written, okay, that exists with you or in your machine, so that you can make use of it, and so that you can avoid some redundancy code in your application. Okay, so yeah, so that is about local modules. So I will show an example, like a more complex one, how you can handle multiple functions. Okay, so basically, I will try to calculate, do the subtraction. Okay, subtraction addition. Okay, so sub is a name given to a function which takes two parameters, a and b. Okay, okay. What should it return? It should return the difference between a and b. Okay. So similarly, I will write another function. It will, like, do the multiplication. So multiplication will take two parameters. Okay. Multiplication is in function. Okay. Here the function is getting stored in multivariable. Okay, that function is taking what, it is taking two parameters. So it will return a into b. Okay, so now we are exporting what the name is got deleted. So as we have deleted the name, so here we can see the strike on it. So VS Code intelligence helps us in this use VS Code. Okay, so I'm exporting area of circle currently. So if you want to use subtraction multiplication function in this app.js, you should export them. Okay, sub and mult. Okay, so sub of 10 comma mult of 10 comma 20. Now I will run this file using node space app.js. Here you can see we got the area of circle, we got the difference between A and B, we got the multiplication between A and B. So this is like all about local modules. So this local module can be very big enough. Okay, this file like it can include like hundreds of functions, so that it can help you avoid the redundancy of code. Okay, so that is all about like local modules. I guess you have understood like what is local modules are. Local modules are something which are present in your local machine, the code which is present in local machine, so that you can make use of it to avoid the redundancy. So if you have any doubt regarding this local modules, you can go to this added doubt section in Newton School website and post your doubt over here. We'll try to contact as soon as possible. Okay. So now, uh, so we have gone through this local modules. Okay, we have worked on the local modules on some examples. So now we'll see about what is an API. So this is not present in the details like in this introduction part, but we'll see what is an API, because it is an important thing in Node.js. Like in any web development thing, API is an important tag, as an important aspect. Okay. So what is an API? So the acronym stands for Application Programming Interface. Okay. So but what is the definition? Like what are the examples of it means? So if you remember, in this thing, in the yesterday session, like which is the day one session, we got to know about like server will communicate to this client, like not communicate, will serves the information to this, to all the clients, to all the front end sites. Okay, but we haven't discussed how it will be able to serve the information. How it will, so we haven't discussed that. We just discussed it will serve information. So this the how part will be filled by this API. Okay, so API used for like communicating between the devices. There is a communication happening between this client and the server. What is helping to communicate API? Okay, so with the basic definition, it allows multiple applications to communicate with each other. Okay, so what is the in detailed definition? Okay, so that is second definition. An API is a set of functions, okay, that allows applications to access data and interact with external software components. Okay, so API is also like set of functions, so that are made available so that we can use them in order to avoid the redundancy, or which are already implemented to access the data or to share some data, anything like regarding our respective work, like we can use API, which are set of functions that are available. Okay, so yeah, so for example, I will give an example like where the API is basically used. So here you can see this weather image, right? So I guess everybody using smartphone nowadays. So whenever you open weather app, you will get the uh, latest weather info in your location. Okay, so those weather information is not being captured by your mobile companies. Okay, so those weather information will be captured by some weather companies. Like for example, there are some weather companies which have already sent satellites to space to get the weather prediction, to get the weather records. Okay, so they will write some code. Okay, so and build some APIs on top of it, so that these companies can access that particular data, that particular weather data that are made, that weather companies are being made available. Okay, so weather data that we see on your phone is not being collected by mobile phones that are collected by other companies. That information is shared to these companies via an API. Okay, so that is basically about weather. Okay, so weather APIs are like mostly popular nowadays. So and one more thing. Whenever you go to Amazon and do some shopping, so you will have like payment option. Okay, like Mastercard, Visa, American Express, PayPal, and all these things. So the PayPal and all these guys will be having their own websites. Okay, and they provide APIs for the API. The APIs will be made available online. Okay, so that the other companies which want to include the payment gateways, they can make use of this PayPal or Mastercard or Visa payment gateways to complete the transaction. So basically, what the PayPal and all the companies are making their own API available, so that other companies can make use of them, not other companies or other applications. Okay. Yeah. So these are the two applications. What is an API means. Okay. Yeah. So now we'll go to this. I guess you have like understand like what is an API. Okay. If you hand it out, like you can go to the added out forum. Okay. So now we'll go through this Node.js documentation. As we are into introduction to Node.js course, it is very mandatory to go and check out the Node.js documentation, which will be very helpful to develop any kind of project. Okay. So I'll go to the web browser, to the Node.js official website. So here you can see something called docs. Okay. Go to docs, and so click on API reference documentation. Okay. So here you can see like all the available API methods. Okay. So here everything is not module. Okay. So what is a module? Module set of functions are made available. Okay. So here everything is not a module. So for example, buffer is not a module. Okay. Console is just an object. Okay. So only some of these are objects, not objects. It's some of these are only modules. So that will concentrate mainly on right now. Okay. So we'll skim through this documentation. Like I will select file system. Okay. So whenever I click a particular module or particular object, so I will get all the classes. Okay, that module has. Okay. What are the methods that in that class are available for us? For example, there is a class called file handle. In that file handle class, we have some methods called append file, chmod, change mode, ch1, close, data sync, and all these different methods are available for that particular class. Similarly, we have methods called like access, append file, all and all these things. So first, initially, we'll check the method. Okay. Okay. So what will we choose? Uh, yeah. So we'll choose this fs.mkdir. I'll click on this thing. So here you can get all the detailed information about this uh, method. Okay. So I will go back to this thing once, the local module. Here, as you already written this method or as you already gone through this method, you know how many variables to be sent as parameter, how many parameters should be sent. Okay, so that's why as we know those things, we're able to send those things in this argument space. Okay, but what if we don't know? Like there is a method that have been developed by other person. Okay, uh, so that are developed by other person, so that we need to use them. So, but we don't know like how many method parameters should be sent and on all these things. So then the Node.js any documentation will be able to help us. So why? Because mkdir is a method. Okay, a method similar to this normal method we created for area of circle. These two are methods. So here if you go to this, it is asking for two parameters. What are those two parameters? One is the path for the directory that you want to create. Okay, what is the path that where you want to create, and a callback function. So here you will be able to understand like, okay, so for this method, I will give two parameters. So what does the parameters types for path? It can be of string type, buffer type, or URL type. Okay. For callback, it should be a function. Okay. What does the callback return? It will return an error. Okay. That will see like what happens in that in next. And they also give some description of about it. So what does it? Asynchronously creates a directory. Okay. Simple description. MKDR is used for creating a directory asynchronously. That's all. Okay. Some description about the parameters and the return types. Okay. So if so this is the way like you should go through the documentation. As you don't know like what are the parameters and what are the objective of that particular function, you should go to this, open the documentation. You can go to the particular method you want to use. You can then you will get the arguments and all the description or everything. Okay. So similarly, we'll go like check other thing, other method. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll yeah. So this so we will see this like what is this, like it is mkd temp. Okay. Make directory temporary. Okay. It will return two parameters. One is the prefix one, another is the callback function. Okay. So sorry. Yeah. So what is the prefix type bit, which should be string, sorry. And the callback function, callback should be of type of function. The callback returns two types, two parameters. What are those? Error and directory. Error is of type error, and sorry, yeah, error is of type of error, and directory is type of string. Okay, that is the so in this way you should be able to go through the documentation. Okay, so now I will select some file system methods. Okay, give me a second. So first, okay, yeah. So now we have gone through this Node.js documentation, right? Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll use some built-in modules in Node.js. Okay. So we'll use some create some application on top of this built-in modules, and we'll work on these type of modules: FS, path, HTTP, OS, and URL. Okay. So what do we mean by built-in modules? We know like what are local modules. So local modules are nothing but which we have present them in locally. Okay, built-in mod the code is present in our local machines that we are making use of it. So, the built-in modules means the code is integrated in the Node.js application or Node.js environment itself. Okay. Oh, sorry. Uh, yeah. So here, if you can see, like all these things are built-in modules. I'll go to back ones. So here, like most of them are like built-in modules. If you can see events, file system, HTTP, DNS, domain, crypto, okay, OS, path, all these things are built-in modules where we can use directly using Node.js applications. Okay. Okay. So we'll go through some things. So firstly, we'll use file system. Okay. Uh, as we imported earlier, we use the same importing way. What is it? Const. Okay. What is fs? Okay. Require of. So now I'm importing this file system module, built-in file system module, into this variable called fs, which is of constant. Okay. So now we'll go through like different functions in it. Give me a second. Sorry. Here like we have this redirect. So now in this, there are like so many methods in this file system. So I'll just skim through like two or three methods, so that like rest of them you can try on your own. Okay. So I will try to call read. Okay. So what does read like read there? So here based upon IntelliSense, you can see there are two read there. So one is normal read there, and another is read there sync. Okay. So sync means synchronous. So if you remember in the yesterday's session, okay, we have gone through an advantage called asynchronous. Okay. Even though JavaScript like Node.js is like a single thread, but it is asynchronous. Asynchronous is what it doesn't block anything. If you want to block, it is synchronous. So that is what it is. If you use this read sync, it will block the code which is next to it. So until this particular third line executes, it doesn't go to the next line. Okay, that is what like read there sync. So read there means while this thing is running, this third line is executing, the fourth line will also get executed in parallel. So we'll see that in detail. Okay. So okay. reader. I will do the synchronous version first. What does this thing takes? So reader sync takes what is the path of the path. Okay. Basically, reader reads the context of directory and will return the files present in that particular directory. Okay. Uh, okay. So I will store this result in files. Okay. I will console.log of uh, I will do this ECMA 6 ES6 rules uh, using this kind of thing, like the files are dollar of files. Okay. So in this particular location, dot slash, we have two files. One is app.js and one is calc.js. Okay. So read their sync is that. Okay. So here we will do the console.log of start sync. Okay. We'll print the files and we'll do the console.log of end sync. Okay. Run this thing. So here you can see the flow is correct. The first it is starting and then it read all the files. We printed it. Then it is the end of synchronous thing. Now we'll do the same for now. We are trying to understand like what is synchronous and what is asynchronous. So now we'll try to do the same. So what is this? Const of files async is equal to file system dot read dir. Okay. So normal reader is like asynchronous. So what does this take? This also takes a path. Here you can see the path. So once we're done with that path, then it will take what? It will take a callback function. Okay. It will take a callback function. Callback function has like one thing, two parameters. One is error, the other is files. Error and files. Okay. So if there is any error, like there might be some error like the file not found, all these things. If there any error, we'll just print the error. Okay. Else, if there is no error, what? Then we'll print the files. So these files we got from over here. Okay, this particular callback function. Okay. For this also, we'll try to check the synchronous or asynchronous thing or how it is being handled. Start async. Okay. Console.log of end async. Okay. So now I have saved that file. I will try to run that particular application. Okay. So the synchronous one is same. Starting, then I will be printing the files, and this is the end of the synchronous. But coming to the asynchronous, the start, okay, then the start async, then it directly moves 13. So these two are executing in parallel. Okay. So while this is executing, this particular 13th line got executed, which is asynchronous. It doesn't block the next lines. So that's why this end async also got printed. After like completing the reading, it is printing the files. So basically, this asynchronous is not blocking the second, the next, the further lines. That is all about the sync and async. Now you have understood like what is read there. Now we'll also work on. Uh, so now onwards we use the asynchronous because it is single. It will be very fast. Okay. Const. So what the next method is mkdir. Okay. In file system we have the mkdir. So mkdir creates a directory where it will create. It will create in this particular path, and it also should also give a callback function for that. Okay. Fs dot. Okay. Mkdir. So if you can see like all the methods are synchronous version, normal asynchronous version. Okay. So what is this issue? We should give a path where it should create. So it should create a new name directory. Okay. So that is the one argument. The other argument is callback function. The callback. What is the callback function? will get an argument error. Okay, so it will so this is callback function syntax. So if error, then something wrong must have happened while creating this thing. If it is not, then we can print like directory created. Sorry, yeah. So we'll try to run this thing. Here you can see a new name directory got created. Okay, so here it says like directory got created. So here you also can see like new directory got created, which is empty. Okay, so that is basically mkdir. Now we will also see rename. Okay, so here you can see file system dot rename. What does it take? It takes some old path and a new path and a callback function. What is the old path type? String and a function type. Okay, so basically it renames the path. Asynchronously renames file at old path to the path name provided new path. Okay, for example, like fs dot rename of, so first this is asking about the old path. Okay, my old path is new. Okay, now I want to rename it to latest. Okay, now what is it? Is it should be having a callback function. Callback function, how many parameters it had? Only single parameter. Error. Okay, if there is any error occurred while renaming, okay, just print that error. Okay, so if there is no error, then print, what should it print? Successfully renamed. Okay, so we'll comment this thing. You might get error because new folder already exists, right? A folder name new. Okay, successfully renamed. Here you can see the new folder which is earlier now got renamed to latest. Okay, so like rename is also fine. So in file system we have covered three methods: redirectory, make directory, and rename. Okay, so the rename will work for both files and directories. Okay, yeah. So now we have covered file system. Okay. File system module. Now we'll go to OS module. So here you can see OS. Okay, so these are all the methods OS provides for us. Okay, so now we will implement free mem. What does the free mem returns? It returns an integer type. It returns the amount of free system memory in bytes as an integer. Okay, we'll implement that thing. First I will import that built-in function to my app.js file in variable called OS. How will I import require of OS? Okay, now how could I get the free memory thing? So I will store that free memory in a free memory variable os dot free mem. Okay, so it will return this free memory and it will store it in the free memory variable. Console.log of free memory dollar of, in dollar we can print that variable. It is free memory. Sorry. Okay, what is the free memory amount? It is something like 21999650304 bytes. Okay, so similarly we can also see total. Okay, so what is the total memory does? It returns an integer. It returns the total amount of system memory in bytes, not about the the total. Initially we tried free memory, but now it returns total memory. Okay, so I'll just copy these two lines. Okay, now I'll rename this to total mem, and I will store the total memory in total memory. Okay, total memory. Okay, I'll again run this application using Node.js app.js. So the total memory is something called 835693778 bytes. And the sorry. So this is total memory. Okay. Yeah. That is total memory thing. So the next method is like home dir. Okay. What does the home dir returns? It returns a string type. It returns a string path of current user's home directory. Okay. So we'll try this one also. Console.log of os dot home dir, right? We'll run the application. So this is my home directory. C colons user slash Nehru Perumulla. Fine. So other thing we can also see is console.log of os dot. Uh, Here we can see like there is something called host name. What does the host name do? It returns this type string, the host name of the operating system as a string. Okay. So we'll check what that returns basically. Okay. The host name is nothing but where the operating system is residing in our system. Okay. Nehru piece. Fine. So you might think of like why all these functions are we are running, because whenever you are dealing with some large scale web applications, there might be some task where you should be able to work with the operating system in the laptop or in any machine. So then these functions will come in handy for you. You know, it not like implement these all these methods from scratch. You can use the built-in functions. Okay. So you should be able to, in large scale web application, you should be able to work with operating system. You should be able to work with file systems. You should be able to work with URLs. So then all these methods will come in handy for you. That's why like we're going through this right now. Okay. So that is for like operating systems module. Now we'll go to the other module. So what is that module? Which is like the path. Okay. So here you can see path. So path is in another module, and it also consists of like multiple functions and multiple classes. So in this path, we can see something. So before that, we should import this thing. So we should import this path is equal to. So for import, we use something called require of path. Okay. So initially, before that, we'll try to print the current file name of the file name which we are working on right now. So for that, we use underscore file name. Okay, we'll print that once. We'll see what it will return. Okay, it returns the whole file name and also the location. It returns the actual location of this current file. So in C users Nehru desktop Node.js models app.js. Okay, so but this information like is not unable to like read, right? So we'll see like how to get parts of this information using the path module. Okay. Now, for example, I'll do something called os dot. Okay. What is like there is something called xgname. Xgname like it takes path and returns some string which is like so extension of this particular file which is .html return .html. Okay, we'll check for this file. Extension name which takes the current file name. Okay, we'll see what does this return. Okay. Okay, sorry. So this xgname is present in the path module, not in the OS module. Sorry. Okay. Okay, xgname. We'll run this one. Okay. So as we are working in app.js, the what is the extension for this? It is .js. Okay. So we'll check for one more thing. Console.log of path dot sorry path dot directory name. Okay. Now for this also we'll give file name. Okay. So as we given the whole link, the whole location thing, the whole location of this file, it will give in which directory this particular file is present. As we given the file path, it will return as the directory name for where this file is present. okay, which is this one, the whole C users, they are Node.js modules. Okay, so we got the extension, we got the file name, we got the directory name. Okay, now what we'll do is like we'll do console.log of, okay, path.parse, path.parse. So here also we'll give some file name. This is the current file. Okay. So here you can see we got the extension earlier for this print statement. We got the directory name, the other print statement. So now we got some object. So this object taking the file path and it returns some useful information. So what is the root of this particular file? It is C. Okay. What is the directory name? Which is this one. Okay. What is the base file? app.js. And what is the extension? .js. And what is the name of the file without any extension? Which is app. So on a single command, on a single function called parse, it is able to return so much information. Okay, so we have used like multiple functions like single but parse method able to return like so much information for us. Okay, so that is all about the path module. Okay, now we'll look into a module called URL. Okay, so here where it is, yeah, here it is. So what we'll do, like we'll import this URL in URL. Okay, require of, sorry, okay. So in this, like we'll go through multiple methods. Like one is host. So what does this host do for us? It will return the just host name. So we'll use this thing. Okay. Console.log of my URL dot host. So as given some websites link, so we want only host from this particular link. Okay, we'll see like what does it print. Okay, so from whole link, what is the host name? The host is the only this example.org colon 81. Okay, so that is one method. So the other method is hash. Okay, URL.hash. What is it? URL? It takes some it takes some URL. It returns some. It prints some something called bar. Okay, we'll copy this. We'll paste it over here. Here, what is the hash value present over here? Hash bar, right? So we should be able to get the value after the hash. We'll check that. We are able to find out like it is bar. Okay. So now you want to get like some more information. What you can do is you have this particular thing, right? My URL. One second. URL dot parse of my URL. Okay. So I just parsed my this web link. I just parsed this using URL module on this web link. So it is able to provide so much of information. What is the protocol? It is HTTP secured one. And there is an evaluation. No, there is what is the host name, what is the port name, what is the host name, and what is the host, what is the hash value. So like just single parse method is able to returning so much of information. Okay, yeah. So this is all about this built-in modules. So we have covered our file system. Okay, and we also covered the synchronous and asynchronous. We were able to find out what is the difference. We have covered OS module. We have covered URL module. We have also covered path module. Okay, so as we cover like a bunch of modules as of now, we'll go into the next thing. Okay, so the HTTP module will be explaining in the tomorrow session in a very detailed manner. Okay, Yeah. So now you might have like think you might think like, oh, so what is this, all these things like why we should use modules. Okay, so here are some benefits of using modules in Node.js, either it can be in built-in modules or the local modules. Okay, so the first thing is the code can be split into smaller files of self-contained functionality. Okay, so for example, there is some huge code like 1000 lines of code in a single file. You can just group them like divide them into multiple files and import them in the required files by exporting it over there, so that the readability improves. Okay, that is one thing. So instead of like analyzing 10,000 codes of line in a single file, it is better to divide all the files, divide single file into multiple files, and it will be easier to analyze. Okay, so that is improves the readability. That is one benefit. The other benefit is same modules can be shared across number of in application. So basically, like I have written some module, written some set of functions, so that I can be made it available, so that other application developers can make use of it instead of writing the same code from scratch. Okay, so maybe like I think like I have written some code in an optimized way, which nobody can read, right? I will make that code available as a module, so that everybody can use it for optimal results. Okay, that is another benefit. So ideally, modules need never be examined by any other developer, because has been proven to work. So basically, like whenever we write some code, so that should be tested. Okay, but that is not the case for modules, because the modules are the things which are already being tested. Okay, so that's another benefit. Instead of like testing the scratch that you have the code from scratch that you have written, it is better to use the models which are already been tested. Okay, so code referencing a model understand its dependency. If the file model is changed or moved, a problem is immediately obvious. Okay, so basically there is some importing in your code, you are importing a file. So if there is any occur, you can based upon the error stack, you can directly move through the error stack and find out like, okay, which file is missing. Okay, so and also like even you have like same function in two different files, that is not be a, that will not be a problem, because those are two different files having same function. Okay, so these are the benefits of using modules in Node.js. Okay, so thank you. So this is for the session day two, modules in Node.js. So if you have any doubt regarding this session or this course, you can go to the Newton School website. Okay, you can add it out in this added out section. Okay, so our team will be able to reach out to you as soon as possible. Yeah, thank you all. That's it for this session.